Hello, everyone. This is Dawn with Pittsburgh Brides, the Point Podcast. Welcome. We decided to go live tonight because we have so many things happening and such good news to share with you. And I'm going to let the girls introduce themselves, and I'm going to make sure that podcast is live in the group for everyone. So, Cara, take it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cara. I am the principal planner with Caristia Events. I am so happy to be here again and excited to be a part of this conversation. I think that this is going to be really helpful for the vendors and pros that are on the Pittsburgh Brides platform. So I'm hoping that we can ask Dawn a lot of questions and get some answers. And I think this will be a positive chat.
Taylor, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Taylor Meyer. I'm the owner of Meyer's Precision Planning, and I'm very excited to be back on the podcast, especially a live one, because we can talk, brides can ask questions, vendors can ask questions. I like that we have this open platform right now, and like Dawn said, we have a lot of exciting things coming up, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, so I hope that Miranda and Tyler are watching this podcast or they get to see it, because I had a bride message me a couple days ago, I guess late last week. And she saw the story about the wedding at the hospital and Miranda and Tyler, and how Cara, how you and I and the other vendors, Lisa Myers, Alina Reggio, Steve Gallio, how we put that all together and did that hospital wedding last February. And she shared with me her story, that her father is just recently put on a lung transplant list. And he's been going on with a battle, I believe it's called IPF. It's a disease that affects his lungs and makes his lungs slowly deteriorate and makes it hard for him to breathe. And she already had a wedding scheduled. Her and her fiance already had a wedding scheduled for November of 2026. And when she messaged me, she's like, Dawn, I think I have to move up my wedding. And I don't even know where to begin. And she saw the post that shared Miranda and Tyler's story. So Miranda and Tyler, I want you to know that your story is paying forward, and it has inspired us to help another couple. And I'm so grateful for that. And we had a chat. She got on the phone to talk to me, told me all about her wedding, what she hoped to accomplish. And first thing I did was reach out to the two of you. And the magic started to happen, and we've decided on a date, which is really close.
Very soon. It's very soon.
And yeah, we're going to do a wedding in, was it 21 days? I think it's 21 days that we're putting a wedding together. And anyone want to share some details?
Taylor, you're the lead on this, so I will let you take this one.
I just, first of all, thank you so much for involving me in this project. I first heard of, when you first asked me about it, I jumped on the chance because this is such a wonderful opportunity to give back to a couple, and also to all the other vendors that are getting involved with this. It's just developing to something so beautiful, and just like meeting the couple too this past Sunday. So this is how quickly this is all moving. And then meeting David from Glen Eden, like he's wonderful. And again, just in general, just all of us coming together as a team to make this happen for this wonderful couple.
Yeah, and to kind of underscore what was going on here is they already were in the wedding planning process. They already had a photographer booked. They already had a DJ booked. They already started buying decor. They knew what their theme is. Taylor, the theme is like Renaissance. Explain.
Viking, all kinds of fun stuff. Like their colors are like a dark, like hunter green and white and gold, like all these like I said, saturated colors. And I'm excited to bring it to life. And I know with all of us and Cara and everybody, it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, go ahead.
It's really great that we have a network of people that we're connected with that allows us to do something like this and to put it together so quickly. So that speaks volumes.
Of the community of Pittsburgh
Yes,
Brides.
for
Of
sure.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh Brides.
absolutely. Even that the bride
Mm.
found us and
Of
said,
course, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
"Hey, I'm in need. I don't know. I really don't know what to do." She was, completely like, "I don't even know where to begin in this process." And how to navigate these waters with, is it even possible to do a wedding in that short period of time? And I'm very grateful that she has contacted us when she did. And that wasn't delayed even a little further. And it's given us the opportunity to give her a fairy tale wedding, the fairy tale that she had hoped for and dreamed for. David told me, David English from Glen Eden Barn. And if you have not seen or toured this space, if you're getting married, wow, like it is so gorgeous. And it was built and with so much love and care. And you can tell the proof is in the details when you tour this space and when you meet him, right, Taylor?
Yes, he's wonderful. He's so kind, and you can feel the love that he's put into this venue. Like, he saw, like, every detail, like, little things, making sure that, the bride's still hidden if someone has to use the restroom before the ceremony, just all of, like, his, like, little thoughts and details. It was just refreshing to see, it really was.
Yeah, that passion for involvement, and he has a wedding Friday, a wedding Saturday, and then
Yeah.
he's gonna come in early Sunday morning, and help us flip the space so that we can accommodate this couple and their family and have this wedding so that everyone can be present and it can be a joyful, blissful occasion in a beautiful space. And I want to thank you, David English. You are a true gentleman and a man among men. I do appreciate and value you so much, not just as a pro in our community, but as a person. Your soul shines deeply when anyone sits down and has a
Mm.
conversation with you. That is very clear. And even the time that he took, right, Taylor, with the couple
Yeah.
that day, like
Y
Sunday afternoon, went to church, did
Mhm.
all of his errands, ran around, and he was
Yep.
with us for almost 2 hours talking through the process with this couple. So,
Oh, that's so wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Cara, I'm really excited to have you there and on board
I
with us
am
as
super
well.
excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I'm so
it's
excited to
nice to
work with
have
you.
extra
Yeah,
eyes on
Sorry.
you.
likewise. Likewise.
Yeah, we got the dream team, right?
Yes.
It
I think most of the details are wrapped pretty much at this point from the logistical side, yes?
it looks like they are. Taylor's been doing a wonderful job. I mean, everything came together, I feel like, in the last 24 to 48 hours. It seems like everything has really been put in a nice little package. So this is going to be very exciting.
Gives a new
Mhm.
definition to shotgun wedding
Yeah, yes. Yeah, for sure.
in a good kind of way, in a good kind of way, and
Yes.
I feel blessed. I feel blessed to be able to assist them on this journey and help them. And I feel blessed to be working with such amazing people
Oh,
around
Thank
likewise.
me.
you. Yes, for
Um,
sure, likewise.
my dad, a little storytelling, my dad had a friend. My dad was a truck driver and he was vice president of an organization called FASH back in the 70s. And FASH was Federal Association of Steel Haulers. They were breaking away from the Teamsters. And it was a big controversy in the 70s. And his best friend, Bill Hill, was president of FASH, and my dad was vice president. I have a picture in my office of this newspaper article from the Pittsburgh Gazette all about this. But years later, fast forward years later, they were best friends. They got through this together. They were literally like shot at. It was on the news. Like it was so controversial what was happening that they were pulling away from the Teamsters and, making it available for, all businesses or all truck drivers to be able to haul steel, not just the Teamsters. And I had the pleasure of meeting, Bill Hill through the years, but after my dad had passed, he would go visit him every day when he was in the nursing home. And one day he broke him out and let him drive because my dad.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's so sweet.
And we, the family members, are like, Dad's really sick, Bill. Like, why are you doing that? And I'll never forget his response to me. It was, when you're in a foxhole with someone, you're brothers. You're more than family. You're more than friends. You become brothers. And he said, I'll never forget the experiences that I had with your dad and how we had each other's back and how we would do, what we got through together. And like, that's what I love about our community, is that we have that sense of, wow, Cara, I got a big thing on my plate. Taylor,
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
got a big task. I
Yeah.
know I can turn to you, and I know that you can turn to me and to others in this community, and that we're there. Cara, tell me the story about the wedding planner that you helped just this month.
Just this month, or you mean earlier this year?
Last month, I believe it
Oh,
was.
last month. Yes. So there was a wedding planner that unfortunately had a family emergency, and it was a really sad situation. And it was, I believe, a day or two before the wedding, and she had to go out of town that there was a passing in her family, and she had to tend to that. So she reached out to Dawn, looking for some help, and Dawn put her into contact with me, and I was able to take over and oversee the day of coordination that day. And so that's a really valuable thing to have in this business. And I've just asked Taylor if she would be able to help me with some events that are coming up in the fall, and being able to cultivate and create this network of people that you can rely on and work with, really is priceless. It's a really, really great thing to have, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
And thank you for stepping up and helping her. I know she was just absolutely mortified when she.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is that she was so gracious and so kind, and she had said to me, hey, I have your back. I will do the same thing for you. And I know that she would. So if there would ever be, God forbid, a situation where I wasn't able to tend to something, I know that I would be able to call upon her. And that's what we need in this industry, right? Because we're all entrepreneurs in a sense. Oftentimes, we're maybe a small business where we have limited staff, and, may only have, we may not have any people working under us. We may have, just a few planners working alongside of us. So being able to reach out within the network of other pros in the Pittsburgh community is invaluable.
Yeah, and it means more than money or,
Oh,
the bottom line.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the
that's what
good stuff.
I've said, I think pretty early on, Dawn, when we started talking. Taylor and I, for example, are technically, we're competitors, but we're also colleagues. I mean, we
Yes.
need to work alongside of each other. There are valuable gifts and insight that we can share with each other. And I think that it's nice that in the platform that you've built, a lot of your pros do recognize that.
I love that. That brings my heart joy and happiness, because that's always been my mission. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I get it from my dad, and he drove truck in his early years, but it wasn't long before he was an entrepreneur, and I just have that in me, and I've had it since I was 22 years old, and I've had different journeys in life, different opportunities, and at this phase of my life, it's really important for me to pay it forward and to give back as much as I can, whether that's helping a young entrepreneur like Taylor and mentoring her on her journey. I remember when we had our first conversation, Taylor, I was like, are you listed with the SOS?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. No, and I
mean,
appreciate that guidance too. So sorry.
No, that's okay. I was go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I appreciated the guidance starting out with this, and I'm embarrassed because I literally went to school for business, but I didn't understand initially the value of being registered with the SOS with my business. I thought, oh, I'm just a small business owner. is that necessary? And then after talking to Dawn, realizing the value of it, brides are investing their time and their money, whether it's me as a coordinator or a DJ or something. So having that behind it, being registered with the SOS and also having insurance, thanks to the lead from Dawn helping me with that. It's like I said, it's helped me like grow as a business in the last year. And surprisingly, I even exceeded my goal. My goal is to I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to book 10 weddings for my first year. Thanks to this wonderful wedding we're all doing together, is actually my 20th booking. And it just touches my heart
awesome.
like greatly to have this community. Dawn's a mentor. I'm learning a lot from Cara. And that's what I like about when people post too. Like, we like each other's posts. Like, if someone's asking for a coordinator, we're hearting each other's posts. We're rooting for each other. And that's why I like this community. It's not about competition. Like I said, it's not about greed or money. It's about us as a community coming together for these brides. And that's what I love about it so much.
100%. And for brides and couples of all style, visions, and budgets.
Absolutely.
The community has always been one that's inclusive of everyone. It's not just for, if you're doing a $3,000 or let's say $1,000 backyard barbecue at your family's property, or you're doing a $100,000 wedding at the Pennsylvania and anything in between, we want to make sure that we offer our platform and our program to all. Well, they're all welcome, regardless of style, vision, and budget. That's always been a staple of who we are. And that stated, I know that we just made a post recently about our new business membership program. I know there's going to be questions that people are going to want to ask. So I want to get into it, and I want to talk a little bit about that. We built the website last year, pittsburghbrides.com, and we created what is verified business listings there, where you basically have a page with your images and your videos and your content, and they can send messages directly and they come right to you. Cara, didn't you just say you just got one just recently?
I did. I just got one, and I'm very excited, and that's nice. It's I'm both verified as a business, and then I know that lead is verified as well. So it's the best of both worlds. It works for both sides of the coin, which is really nice.
Yeah, and I like the AI feature that we have on the website as well, so they can just kind of type in, I need a wedding planner, and this is my budget, and everybody's priced their different price points, and it helps narrow the field, because you're going to have wedding planners that start at $1,000, and some that start at $2,000, and some that start at $3,000, and it helps them kind of narrow that field down, as well as all the other assets that we have on the site for them, and that list is ever evolving. But let's bring it back to the business membership. What do you guys think? You saw my post last night.
So I think let's first just put it out there that this membership that Pittsburgh Brides and Dawn recently posted about applies to the professionals in the group. So you're not asking, correct, Dawn? You're not asking brides to pay or couples to pay to belong. This is just for vendors, correct?
Absolutely, 100%. This group, Pittsburgh Brides, that we founded in 2018, has always been and always will be for the brides, and we will never charge the brides to be participants in this group, because it's our goal to be there for you, to mentor you through the process of planning your wedding. We know that it's overwhelming. We know that there's so many moving parts and emotions and logistics involved, from the initial enthusiasm and excitement to the frustration of, and the oversaturation of decision making and everything in between. This group has always and always will be here for the brides. And over the years, we've had pros join. And so at this point, with the amount of volume that's coming in, and just to put it in perspective, we get 1,500 or more requests every month.
Wow.
And just last month, we verified 400 brides and a little over 100 pros. And when I say
who is verifying, who is doing that, Dawn? I think it would be helpful to share who is doing that verifying.
Great question. So I have two assistants, one that works in the morning, one that works in the evening, and they are screening every request to participate in that group, to join that group, to make a comment or a post in that group. And sometimes that can be the extent of a couple hundred to 500 a day. But
Wow.
all of these requests to join, we ask that everyone be vetted and verified. And when I say vetted and verified, like the first thing we're looking for is, are they Pittsburgh? Are they local? That's really important, because we've had DJs and photographers and what have you from, New Jersey and Michigan and California, and we decline them. Like, we just say, sorry, you're not local. This group
And
is not.
so if I can just stop you for a second, why is it important? Can you share with us, why is it important to vet and verify these pros and the brides alike that are in couples alike that are coming into the group? Why is that important to you and for Pittsburgh Brides as a whole?
So our vision has always been about the bridging the gap and connecting the couples in the community and bringing them together and keeping the love and the business local.
Right.
Right.
Right. So it doesn't make much sense if we have, for example, maybe photographers that are coming in from the West Coast trying to sell their services to our Pittsburgh couples. We want to keep everything here in Pittsburgh as much as we can.
And it takes business away from vendors and wedding professionals in our city and in our area. To the extent we have maybe a couple that are across the pond in, Ohio or West Virginia that are within a 75-mile radius of Pittsburgh, but that's our parameter, is that you have to be within that 75-mile radius. And if you're not, I'm sorry, that's not part of the platform that we created years ago. And the same thing goes with when we're vetting the process. The girls are trained, they're looking for, how old is that Facebook profile? Is it new? Is it just a couple days old? Are they connected in the community? Are they members of any other groups? Do they have any friends in this group? Is it a name that's written in a language you can't even read? Like, we're doing a really good job to keep out people that are not part of the community in screening. And that process, it takes time. It's not a matter of just, we look down the list and go click, 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 and approve. We're actually vetting each one. And we ask every bride that comes in for a wedding date, so that we know, or a wedding year, and we ask for their email, and my admins, they take that information and put it into a database so that we have their emails and we have their wedding dates. And I don't know if either of you've noticed that we have a post every week that says, congratulations to the brides that are this week.
I like that post.
The only way we can do that is because we know when they're getting married.
Right.
And that's about creating this ever evolving connection with the community and letting them know that they're important to us and that we are keeping that, information, so that when the time comes, we can congratulate them. And we'll probably do something similar with the newly engaged as we go into fall. And with the amount of sheer volume that's coming in, I know that there's a lot of large groups out there, but goodness gracious, we had 300 join last week and 200 the week before. And that's a lot when you're running a business and you're doing anything else. Think about
absolutely.
That is.
So I'm a member of some of those other groups. I'm on them. Taylor, you might be. Dawn, I'm sure you even are. I think what's really great about Pittsburgh Brides is the conversation. There's a lot of conversation happening. I love that that brides and couples come to the Facebook page and to the platform and ask for advice, and we have those vendors and those professionals that are willing to give it. They're not charging for it. We're sharing that, and then again, I think that says a lot about the work that you've done and the format that you've created this in. And so that I think is different from what some of the other groups that I've seen are like. It's that there's a lot of dialogue, I guess I should say, happening.
Yeah. When they want an answer to a question, they come to us.
Yes.
They're coming here. And I can't underscore enough how important that is, that it's regardless of style, vision, or budget.
Right? And that is what attracted me to Pittsburgh Brides in the first place, because when I started Caristia in 2013, one of the initial things that I had, I think, written on my website in the About section was that every bride, every couple, everyone getting married should be able to work with and afford and deserves a coordinator or a planner. And I really do believe that. I think that, whether, as you mentioned, whether it's a $1,000 backyard barbecue or that $150,000 wedding, that couple deserves to live, that fantasy day. And I really do believe that. I think everyone deserves that. So.
And you're so right about the support from the community. And they're so eager to get in the conversation and assist, whether it's do you think about this venue, or what do you think about, I have this problem, I'm looking for someone that can alter my dress really quickly, or I lost my DJ, I got to replace him. And it's not just in search of, it really comes down to the heart of the matter of things that they're just not sure how to navigate through, and they need some advice.
Right. Advice from both the pros and then also the community of brides on the platform itself. So that is what's wonderful. I mean, the sheer volume of people that are joining it's just wonderful. It just is it really, community is the word. I think so.
And I can't underscore enough that the brides that came in July, when I was looking at the wedding dates, because we asked that wedding date information, and I see the list that the girls, when they put in all their information, 26, 27, 26, 27, and I saw 28, and I was like,
oh my goodness.
Really? And I know that that's going to just unfold even more as we get a little bit closer to what is engagement season, though I don't think there's truly an engagement season anymore. But the holidays tend to get a bump.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, you mentioned, how many people did you say are joining on a weekly basis?
So over the last, we're getting an average of about 500 a month.
Okay.
And that's been consistent since last year. We've had 4,000 join since November of last year. That's right at 500 a month. And again, we turn away, for every one that we approve, we turn away 2. And people know this. You can comment in the thread, because we've pushed it back to you and said, I'm sorry you didn't answer the questions. I'm sorry you didn't agree with the rules. I'm sorry you didn't give us a wedding date. I'm sorry you didn't give us an email, because this is how we show transparency. So if something goes awry, we can go find that person on our listings and say, okay, we have their email address. Let's go find them in the group. We can search, we can find them. It's really important that we can navigate and backtrack that way and find people. And so we just say, sorry, we can't have you join the group unless you give that information. And people normally do if they're genuine and they want to join the group. And if they don't, that's fine. Everybody has their preferences, but that is what that's designed to do, is it's to protect the integrity of the group. And I can't underscore that enough, how important that is to me, that everyone that is conversation in that group, everything that's happening in this group is local, within 75 miles of Pittsburgh. And that these businesses that are engaging with the couples, we've had a lot of bad things happen lately.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things happen lately. And this is another part that I don't think people understand. When bad things happen, even if it's not in our group, maybe something bad happened from someone they met somewhere else, a photographer or makeup artist, they're messaging me saying, Dawn, what can I do? How do I fix this?
And so you do. I've seen you pull your resources together and you do your very best to fix it, and you always provide a solution for those couples. But that takes resources, right? And I'm sure time and energy and money. And you're a business owner as well, so you're taking time away from your other businesses to manage some of these things. So I think that it's maybe important that you talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, and it's really important to me from a standpoint of I'm a business owner in Pittsburgh, and I represent business owners in Pittsburgh, and it saddens me when I see these brides having bad experiences, and when they message me and they say, "Oh, this makeup artist is not responding to me, and it's 3 months into my wedding and they're ghosting me," and I don't know that I have the answer for them, but I try to have fresh eyes on it and give them some ideas and some tips of, well, maybe try to connect with them a different way. Maybe, they're not checking their messages. Maybe you need to email. Maybe, just giving them some various fresh eyes on things and helping
So
them try to
why?
navigate that. And that's time. It can be time consuming, but they're in a place that they're so disillusioned. They're so disappointed, and they really don't know what to do or who to turn to for help. And they know that I'm an advocate for helping. And so they turn to me, and I do so joyfully. Like, I don't expect anything in return. But, when you have the same photographer that's taken advantage of multiple brides, and then you're just getting this influx of brides sending you messages saying, "Dawn, what should I do?" Da, 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 da. And like, it can be consuming.
So why do you think, Dawn, that Pittsburgh Brides, and even maybe more specifically you, have become this resource for strategizing and problem solving? And maybe even like furthermore, why do you think Pittsburgh Brides has become the go-to place for this conversation and the place to be for wedding planning in Pittsburgh? Why do you think that is? What sets you apart? Why do you think that you are the one that these brides are reaching out to whenever they're facing some sort of dilemma?
Yeah, so there's probably a two-part answer to this, and I've learned this through the last sip and shops that we've done. For one, I think I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I think they see that.
Oh yes, you do.
Yes.
Good or bad,
Yeah.
Spicy Dawn comes up sometimes. And
We love
Spicy
all
is
sides of
always
Dawn.
being an advocate. Spicy is always being an advocate for someone. And my mother said I was always good in a crisis. You would never let anything happen to someone you cared about. And that kind of kicks in with our community. Like, I'm protective in that manner. And I think they can sense that about me. And two, I think the heart of the community, the heart of Pittsburgh in wedding planning is here. And that we have promoted this group and cultivated this group. Like, you can go to a lot of places and you'll see, people are participating in those groups and they're just like, "I'm a DJ, da 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 da, contact me. I'm a DJ, da da da, contact me. I'm a DJ, contact me." And it's this repetitive, like, spammy post that's just perpetuated over and over again. And we have not permitted that to be a part of our platform. We actually say, "Hey, if you're here for the conversation. You're here to assist. You're here to help, not to just spam post
Spam these,
everybody."
Yeah.
right.
And I think that's why the brides feel safe and they feel like they can have a conversation, whether it's with me or Cara or any one of the admins. They know that they have a go-to team that they can turn to if they have a situation they don't know how to resolve and they need a help.
Right. Right. And I think beyond that, it's and you touched on this whenever we started talking, it's a welcoming place, right? So we are not we're not saying that you need to have a budget of X amount to feel welcome and appreciated here. We're not alienating people, and I think that that's really important too. That
And
that
businesses
everyone
as
feels
well.
valued.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
businesses as well, because
Very good point.
every business starts at some point. And I've seen in some other groups where, well, I've been in business for 30 years. I'm a wedding planner of 30 years. And then there's a new wedding planner, that's young and fresh and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and eager to perform and has some new, fresh ideas. And I've seen sometimes those new talents be a little bit dismissed, because they're not vetted, they're not vested a long period of time in the industry. Well, sir, I'm going to circle back and say we all had our first wedding. Everybody has their first wedding, their first day on the job.
Yep.
And sometimes your first day on the job, you're working a lot harder and have a lot more enthusiasm than you do once you're with the company for 5 or 10 years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have a tendency sometimes, to take things for granted once we're, experience so many different weddings and receptions. And I'm an advocate of that. I want those new businesses coming in. They have a business license. They have insurance. Who am I to say that they don't have the talent to deliver to you if they communicate well?
Good point.
And they're on it. So, and Taylor, I know you fall into that category, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing I'll say with the Pittsburgh Brides page, I think another thing that really stands out is that, Dawn, you're the face of Pittsburgh Brides. They know to come to you, whereas you go, and I'm sure Cara could vouch for this too, when you go to some of these other groups, you don't know who runs those pages. You don't know, if something does go awry. I can't, you can't think of a person that you can go and ask a question where, again, Dawn, you're having people that aren't even sometimes a part of Pittsburgh Brides reaching out to you because they know that you're somebody that's willing to help, to gather resources together. So again, that's really why you're called Dawn.
Yes, very. That's funny.
I'm sorry, I was going to have to say it at some point tonight.
That's really a good point, Taylor. That is really a good point. I mean, and I think that speaks to how involved Dawn is in Pittsburgh Brides. I mean, you are at this daily. I know you are because I'm reaching out to you for one need or another almost daily, right? So you are putting in a lot of time, effort, money, resources, your own resources. But I'd kind of like to take the conversation back a little bit to this new this why we're shifting to this new business membership.
Okay.
So you talked a little bit about it, but you weren't doing it before. You weren't charging vendors before. Why are you now?
Big difference in the amount of workflow and the daily cost for us to sustain the platform with the integrity, the vision, and the mission that we've always had. When we had a group of 2,000 members or 6,000 members or even 8,000 members, totally different workflow than it is when you have 500 joining every month. And not only do we have the 1,500 applying, 500 we're approving, but these are all new brides. They have questions. We're approving those posts. We're approving new vendors coming in. We're screening them. We are also creating all these other assets for them that assist them with their wedding journey. And that's a podcast. I'm going to do an interview with everyone in our group, hopefully, so that they can get to know you, see your face, get a vibe for you, do a venue tour for your venue. And we did all of these amazing downloadable products that we're going to be launching in fall, where they can just download things that they need, and it's going to have them have assets and resources that they need. Things like the Steelers schedule, the Pirates schedule, like in a data program within the portal on the website. My IT guy is working really hard on all of these dynamics, even a gratuity calculator there, so you can put in your bill and figure out what an appropriate gratuity is. Assets that are helping the brides, because I'm going to circle back. This group has always been for the brides. Always, always, always.
Now, are those, I'm going to ask again, are those going to be free services for the brides, or are you going to charge for them?
So the downloadables on the website are going to be available to the brides that are subscribed on our website. So it will require a subscription process. That process probably on the website may have a small fee. We haven't got there yet to determine how large that platform's going to be. But at the current time, the answer is no. It does not. And we have a timeline that they can download, a guide. We have, various other resources for them that they can download. But yes, that is, something that we're working on.
So these are all resources for Pittsburgh Brides brides in the Pittsburgh community, I should say, that
Yeah.
you and your staff and your colleagues and network of professionals are putting together that are at their fingertips.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Specific to this area.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
and I
that's
have a
wonderful.
project we're working on, right, Cara?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big monster.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. So I have another question for you. Which of the features that this business membership is going to offer to the pros, to the vendors, do you think would drive the most engagement for business? Which are going to send the most leads their way? You said that you're offering the availability to do a podcast interview. I know I've done one with you. You said that venues can do perhaps a virtual venue tour. Which do you think is going to be the most successful, the most profitable?
I think marketing encompasses a continuation of visibility on different platforms and different places.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the business membership enrollment, which is less than a cup of latte a month, like we
Right.
made it really affordable, or
So
$99.
$9.99 a month, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And it's $99 a year, which saves you 2 months. It's 33 cents a day. That gives you access in the group to engage directly with couples and in search of posts in real time without hesitation, without delay. You don't have to wait to an admin to approve your post, which is sometimes a problem. And sometimes AI is a problem in that group. We tried to use the AI feature and Facebook, and I had people screenshotting me saying, my post didn't approve, and it was because AI tagged it. And I mean, these are real people that are approving these comments and posts. And again, that comes back to workflow and the cost of the team being able to keep up with everything. But circling back to the marketing part of it, I think I'm a big advocate of seeing your face in the group. And I've told both of you this, and I've told
Yes, you have.
other members that. I was like, they need to see your face. You need to be engaging with them. They need to be comfortable with you, because people will buy and do business with people that they are comfortable with. And it's a matter of repetition, that they see you in the group, they see you commenting and connecting with other brides and other couples. And that's why I brought in the podcast, because I really want to sit down with our pros and I want to do an interview, and I want to get to the heart of the matter. What drove you to get in the business? What's your passion? What fuels you? What do you love most about the industry? I really want to give you an opportunity to speak to all of our brides, the 26, 27, 28, and God only knows by the time we hit November. But to speak to them and talk about your business from your perspective, not mine. I can tell the story about you, Cara, or you, Taylor, and, the perspective is entirely different when it's coming from you.
Right.
And I really want to be able to showcase that and share that with the brides, as well as the venue tour. I can't tell you how many people have commented on the venue tours that I've done for rail yard venues and city winery, and how it helps the couples as they're sitting there and they're watching that, and they're like, okay, I have, it's a process of elimination, and they have all the deets that they need to decide if they want to book a tour with that venue. And it's my expectation as we go into down season, past the end of wedding season, that I'll be able to do more of those. And I think that's going to be incredibly valuable to the businesses. And with the business membership enrollment, you can a la carte request those services. You can request a podcast. You can book a virtual tour. You can also book a Facebook post, and we have those. They're a la carte from our a la carte menu. I'll drop the link below on this podcast, but you can book anytime post. It's $75, or through the week it's $50. So there's price points for everyone there. So as we come into, let's say, Black Friday, and you have specials, our bridal shops that maybe want to do White Friday. And I have people message me all the time. They want to post, and I'm like, staff-wise, it's difficult for us to keep up with all of those requests. But if we have a system in place, which we now do, where you can book it online, we get an invoice number, we know, what time has the best algorithm and the best eyes for us to be able to post that for you to get the most exposure. I know that all of our pros are benefiting from Marketing Mondays, all of our
Without a
verified
doubt.
listings, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, like I said, and this is a phrase I use often, not blowing smoke on, but I have booked countless brides from Pittsburgh Brides. There is tons of visibility available. There's a little legwork involved. You have to get out there, get your face out there. When there are those in search of posts, engage with those couples. But I'm not, and I think I mentioned in one of our podcasts before, I'm not advertising anywhere else currently. And
you're
I have
turning people away.
I'm turning people away. I have a full calendar, definitely growing. It's relevant. This is a relevant space to be in. Why would I want to go anywhere else? This is
Right.
the market. I'm not filtering anything else. I mean, I'm not sending, a Facebook ad out into an abyss. This is thousands of Pittsburgh Brides right at my fingertips. I had my start in sales. You just have to engage a little bit. It's been I've had a lot of success.
Your target audience is in our group. And, not to dismiss, but our marketing efforts brings them here. Right.
Yes,
and we're not just marketing just for ourselves. Like, I cannot tell you how few, like elite casino events, not too many people are booking that for casino parties, right?
Right.
We do book the photo booth, but that's incredibly seasonal. People are usually booking or buying that at the end of their budget. It's not at the beginning where they're looking for a wedding planner, a venue, their DJ service and all of those other things. But yeah, we regularly, during the time for them to be booking, are seeing that. Taylor, you said that you're booking. Every person that I've interviewed that's a verified listing on our website has told me without doubt that they are getting leads and converting leads into booking. And our new platform from the website enhances that a little bit, because you know exactly that the lead is coming from us. You don't have to worry about the bride saying, "Oh, I saw you on Facebook," and it's so ambiguous. You don't know where it came from.
So I think it would be really helpful for the pros who may be on the fence, if they're thinking, "Hey, I don't really know if I buy into this business membership, if I want to commit to this," to maybe hear from some of the pros that, whether they're a verified pro or they have already engaged with a lot of the brides on the page. Drop a comment, let other pros know if you are getting bookings and if this is working for you. I know it's working for me. Like I said, there's no free lunch, so to speak. I think it takes a little bit of work, but really not much. I mean, it's like send a DM to someone who's looking for something, engage a little bit with these brides, and I think that it will be successful for you.
And I do realize too, here's another really important fact about the world that we live in right now and the economy. And as the economy is strained and we go closer into the holiday season, we have a tendency to see more bad actors come out.
Mm-hmm.
More scam artists, fraud, even people maybe taking advantage, and maybe they don't fall into those first two categories, but they take advantage of situations. And it's my 100% belief that this platform is really going to assist us on weeding out. And, we screen as everyone's coming in, but we're very methodical in that. But, this is going to take it to another level. No one's going to pay if they're a scam artist,
right? They're not going to pay to
they're not going to pay.
They're not going to pay
to come into the group, and that is going to make this space even safer for our couples.
Right.
And it's all.
Dawn just froze. But I think what Dawn was saying is that it's going to make it safer for the couples. It's almost like an insurance policy for the couples that are on the page, because we know who we're dealing with, right? Because if someone is, coming in to scam someone, or maybe approaching things from a dishonest perspective, they're not going to pay, even if it is just $10 a month, they're not going to pay $10 a month to do that.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think that's what the one thing that's important too about this platform is that we're providing a safe space for these brides to look for vendors. These are verified, vendors. And like Dawn was just saying, someone that unfortunately is a bad actor or something, she's not going to let someone like that pay for a membership. Like,
Right.
they take the time to verify this business, verify this person, so that, again, our brides' investments are protected. And that's one of the most important goals of this page.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
community as well.
Yep. And so I think that Pittsburgh Brides, and as I said, Dawn has always approached everything from a very honest, and it looks like we have her back, and genuine, genuine perspective, which has always been great. We were just, Dawn, sort of elaborating on what I think you were going to say before you froze up there, that anyone that's coming in, with, like, it might be a scam artist, or might be less than honest, they're not going to, as you were saying, they're not going to pay to do that. So it makes a very safe space for those brides that are a member of the group.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I was saying is, when you have that thread and there's like 100 comments.
Yes.
How do brides navigate through that? They don't.
Right.
There's it's too much. It's
too much. It's overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, very overwhelming.
And brides have said that. Brides have said, this is overwhelming. I mean, even when they are actively seeking something, when you get hit with all of this stuff, I mean, that's happened to me before. I've gone on to, I live in Westmoreland County, Access Westmoreland, and I'm looking for, I don't know, someone to wallpaper my house, and you get hit with all this stuff. How do you sort through that?
Sure.
It's just become so cumbersome. And that points to where I say there's a little bit of legwork involved. If you do decide to participate in this business membership, DM these brides, engage with them, have a conversation. It will definitely do justice for you.
It opens up the conversation. That's what these groups are for. The brides go to Pinterest, or they go to Instagram, or even TikTok to be inspired. But when they have a question that needs answered, they come to us.
Right.
We always provide those answers for them in the safest, most community setting that we can create for them. And we welcome all, and we welcome the input from everyone. And I think that, there's a lot to be said about that too many comments on a post, because that's a saturation point. And we don't want, no couple wants that, because it makes the whole part of planning your wedding become cumbersome.
Right.
And I think with this new platform, it assists both the brides and the pros, because it will narrow the field a little bit. And to anyone that can't afford $9.99 a month, I respect that. If you can't afford that and you can't continue to be a participant in the group, I welcome you back whenever you would like.
Yeah, if you can in the future, come back. Yep.
Yeah. Because we're all at different phases and different financial situations. But I did price it at that point for a reason, because I think, if anyone is in this group, and you're still in this group, and you're still commenting in this group, you've converted leads into bookings, and bookings into revenue. And $9.99 a year is not that much to ask to help us maintain and sustain the integrity in the community that we've built.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So those that are still here and are still being part of this relevant conversation are seeing the value in it, is what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think more so in the months to come.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You have some really exciting things planned. I know that you haven't shared you haven't showed your hand. You haven't shared everything with me, but I know that there's some exciting stuff. So when is this taking place? Is this September 1st. Is that
Correct.
okay?
So my admins, assistants, and both of my internal assistants at the office are gradually starting to suspend members and notify members that they need to enroll in order to maintain privileges in the group, and without enrolling, that we would be suspending and or even removing them from the group by 9/1. And we're probably going to see a little decrease in our numbers.
Mm-hmm.
From we're almost at 13,700 right now, so we're probably going to see that drastically decrease. But we have a lot of dead weight in this group, meaning that there's people that were here 7 years ago that haven't had a comment in years, and that's going to be good for the conversation because it's going to help all the way around. It'll help
Right.
the marketing aspect of this, the algorithm, and it'll help Google find us, which that's one of the great things that we have going for us is Google loves us.
So expand on that. You said Google loves you. What do you mean
Yeah,
by that?
so I know that there's other groups that are private groups, and we are a public group, which
Mm-hmm.
really opens up our platform so that anyone can find us. And it also helps the algorithm to find us.
Oh,
And it makes
interesting.
it a
Okay.
little more complicated for us for vetting people, because it's not like a private group, like you have to have the password to get in, and you're locked out and you can't see or say anything in this group
Right.
without approval from the admin. Like if you share something, Cara, if you share a post in this group and somebody can
Mm-hmm.
share it, then everybody shares it. Everybody
Right.
sees it. It's not just confined to the members in this group, which I think is incredibly beneficial for the pros whenever they're posting
Mm-hmm.
something in this group, or we're posting a podcast or a virtual tour. That can go, like, I'll give you a good example. The pictures and the photos from Miranda and Tyler's wedding back in February of last year had over 24,000 views and over 600 shares.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
just the engagement on that one post was crazy. And because we're a public group, now can I switch to a private group? I can, but I think that closes that door for
Right.
our pros, and they don't get the exposure. And then the brides don't find us when they
Right.
meet us and they have answers. That's why we have brides coming to us and asking us questions that are not even members of our group. And they're like, oh, I'm coming in here. Like, I think she might be able to help me.
Yep. Yep. So, is there any advantage to deciding to enroll in this business membership now as opposed to waiting a little closer to September, or is is it okay to wait? What do you think?
I think you do whatever is right for you, but I will say that there's going to be a huge task on our staff's part as we narrow this field and we
Mhm.
start removing members from the group.
Mhm.
And you might get caught up in that. So enrolling now benefits you because when you enroll, you get an invoice, we get an instant notification, you go on a list, you approve, you're paid, you're a member, you're good to go.
Mhm.
And the girls are cross-referencing that, and they're making sure not to remove anybody that's on that list. So, I mean, we're
Okay.
talking a couple weeks here. Like,
Right.
it's
Right.
not that big of a deal. If you intend to stay, it's going to be a much smoother, easier process for you to do that right now, as opposed to, after September 1st. And then with the Labor Day weekend, I can only imagine the amount of volume, because the holidays typically we get bombarded. And
Right.
so that can cause delays as well. So if your intention is to stay with us, I welcome you. I hope that you will. And I would encourage you to do that as soon as possible. And I'm going to drop that link below. It takes literally 60 seconds to enroll. You get an email confirmation with a thank you letter right afterwards, and you're good to go.
So, if let's say that you have a business that is in the group that isn't a verified pro, so they're not on the website,
Okay.
and they're on the fence, they're thinking, "Hey, I don't know if I want to enroll. I don't know if I want to be a part of this. I've been fine. My business has been doing fine without paying for something like this. Why would I do this now?" What would you say to them?
Because at the rate and the volume that we're seeing coming in now, we have to do this. This is not, I want to do this. This is not greed motivated at all. This is inspired by what I see in the numbers and the anticipated growth of this group. I mean, we're gonna hit 20,000 probably close to the end of the year. And
Right.
that's 6,000 members coming in a very short window of time. And the majority of them are brides and
Yep.
couples that are getting
Mhm.
married. And, it's engagement season, and you want to connect with them right at that time and start building those relationships and cultivating it now. And, if you've had success in this group before, and I know that you have, or you wouldn't be here, you are likely to repeat that and have success as we continue on down the line. It's just a matter of whether that works for you or not. And I'm going to say that based on the feedback that I've had from the members of the group, is that everyone is really happy and excited about this,
Yeah.
and excited that, we're going to narrow the field, that we're going to give the couples, resources of verified businesses and less noise and more focus and to their target audience.
Great. Okay. So for anyone who still says, no, not for me, I
Yeah.
am deciding I'm going to take a pass. I don't want to do this. And they don't enroll by 9/1.
Yeah.
You said that you will welcome them back. So
Sure.
there's still like a path to reentry in the group. They're able
Yeah.
to come back in. Okay.
Yeah. Just understand that we reserve the right to participation in the group based on the criteria that we set, and that is that you have to be a part of our platform and a business member enrolled on our site. And we've been working on this for years, and it's been a long time coming. And honestly, when we started this group, I never saw this,
Yeah,
that
it's
we would be here. But the
Mhm.
momentum that we have and the organic conversation that we create and the comfort level for the brides, and, that we give back, that's a big part of it. Like, we want to
Mhm.
continue this path of doing and helping weddings for families that are in crisis, that need assistance, that need to move their wedding date up, that maybe they don't have everything that they need for their wedding. And we can add Taylor from Meyer's Precision Planning as their wedding planner and Cara as their assistant. And we can help cultivate that. And we can get a venue to sign up and help us with that, or decor labor to come in and help them with decor on event day. Like, that's a whole part of this platform and of what I want to leave back to this community as part of the legacy. Pittsburgh Brides is beyond just a place for you to go and get answers. It's a community, and we're here for you. And it's not just me, it's we together. We
Right.
are Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
and we're here for all of you.
So it's not just a Facebook group anymore. It's
No,
definitely
we've
grown beyond a Facebook
Mhm.
group. It sounds,
no,
yeah,
no. I
absolutely.
think Facebook is the tool of communication,
Yep.
but
Yep.
we are
It's the
still seeing
vehicle. It's
lead.
the vehicle. Yep.
It's the vehicle, but you're still seeing, the listings. You just got a listing inquiry from the website, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and it's important to note that any of our verified listings, I want to thank all the businesses that have supported my vision this last year. It has been a roller coaster ride, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you've made it through this podcast, I want to make sure to shout out to you and say thank you, because without the businesses that supported this platform, we would not have been able to sustain and get to this point. And as we continue to grow further, we need these other businesses to help us and step up and help keep this group growing and this growing to the success of everyone, so that everyone is, it's a win-win. The brides win, they get everything that they need and the
Yep.
support and help, and the businesses win, and all crossed. I'm a big believer in that.
And it's a coffee at Starbucks or a coffee at Dunkin', maybe two a month. And I know that I am definitely guilty of more than 2 Starbucks a month. So
And
I
keep
think
in mind, and
that's a way
I
to
just
view
wanted
it,
to
I think.
underscore that if you are already a verified listing on our website, your business membership is included in that. So
Right.
this to both of you, you're already included that. This is for the people that maybe are not sure they want to be on the website, but they still want to participate and have access to being able to do a Facebook post in our group to promote their brand and promote their business, or they want to do a podcast. And I wanted to
this is like a
open up
great
that avenue.
teaser. It's like a great teaser. Like you can get like a little bit of like a taste to see if maybe becoming a verified pro is for you.
Right.
So that's another way to look at it. It's a way to, to test it out at we'll just call it like a significantly reduced rate before making that monthly or annual commitment at a higher rate. I think
believe in transparency, and everything is on our website as far as our programs. And I also believe that times can become tough sometimes for people, and they have something happen that they need to put the pause button. So you can pause your subscription. You can cancel your subscription. You can upgrade your subscription. I made all those options available at your fingertips. You can log in, cancel. We'll get a notification, we'll know, and our team will respond accordingly. But that's an option for you. You don't have to call somebody and say, I want to cancel my subscription. Right?
Yeah.
Really
you don't have to sort through all of that fine print and try and find that 800 number. Like
they bury it, right?
Yeah, they do. Okay. So, I guess, is there anything that you want to add that maybe we didn't touch on? You had said that for people who are interested, you're going to put the link in the comments below, right?
Yep.
Anything that maybe we haven't touched on, Dawn, that you may want to add? I think that this has been helpful. It should, I think, for anyone who may have been thinking, hey, why now? Why is there a cost associated with it now? You've been very transparent, sort of showed your hand, put it all out on the table, which is helpful. And I know I appreciate when, you and I initially had that conversation when you had said that you were going to be doing this. So I'm sure the other pros will appreciate it as well.
Yeah. My husband says I'm not allowed to work 18 hours a day anymore.
Yeah. Too much. 18 hours a day is too much.
But and as we go into engagement season, I'll be honest, I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Even with the assistants.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like, I've got to ramp up the team. I've got to make sure that we're delivering and that we can help everyone on both sides, vendor, couple, bridging that gap.
So is there anything that we can expect from Pittsburgh Brides in the future? Anything new that's going to be rolling out? Anything exciting coming in the fall or beyond?
Yeah, there's some exciting things happening. My IT ace is doing some really badass things on the website that are going to be totally unique and different and specific to the Pittsburgh area. And we also have some unique events that are planned. And I'm going to drop this scoop on that very soon. And as a business member, if you're enrolled, you're automatically invited to be a part of that as well. So and I think that's really important. The sip and shop shows and the little events that we've had have been just such a great way to, again, create that engagement, that marketing. You need that. They need that. They need to get to know you. People buy goods and services from people that they like and people that they trust. And you can't get that by email. It's really important. I had one of my pros that wasn't really active in the Facebook group and, wanted to say, well, I'm not really seeing any leads. And I'm like, but they don't know you. They have to know you. You have to get your face up. And I told you both that, right?
Yes, you did. It does. It definitely helps. Absolutely.
I even told you
straight
to stop using your business page and start using your personal page so that they can see your face.
You told me the same thing.
Yep. And it's helped a lot for sure. And And even like with the business membership, it's a two-way street. Like you have to participate as well to make it work.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing too. Like you said, be visible, let the bride see your face, whether you're helping in comments, if someone's asking a question, you can give your input. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bring the brides, you bring the sparkle. Let's do this.
Awesome. Thank you
All
so
right,
much,
girls.
Dawn. Thank you for taking the time. I think that,
Thank you.
again, more of Dawn's time, but thank you for sharing this information. I think it will be helpful for anyone who is like, hey, why are we doing this now? Or anyone that's on the fence. And I'd just like to offer, if anyone wants to send me a message to ask what my experience has been like, I'm not, this expansive, huge business. I'm a small business. I have to manage costs and watch costs, with the best of them. So, if you'd like to chat with me about the value that I've seen from being a pro on the site, I'd be more than happy to talk with you.
I appreciate that, Cara. Thank you so much. And
Of
I
course.
know that Taylor already has stated the same. And I want to thank
absolutely.
I want to thank our entire community, brides, pros, new visitors. My door's always open. I may not respond immediately, but I promise I will get back to you via email and or messenger, dawn@pittsburghbrides.com. Thank you, ladies. And I know that we're going to do some fun lives. So
Yes.
we'll see you at our
Yes,
next
I'm
live. We'll
excited.
announce it next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.